Hello, everybody, and welcome to this discussion that I'm having with Bill Willis from McKenzie Willis. Now, I just wanted to talk with you very briefly today. McKenzie Willis, client of Greenwood Consulting, and it's been absolutely amazing working with you guys so far. We've got a lot of really amazing stuff in the works, but I guess more than anything else, I just wanted to grab your opinion, your take, your thoughts on our engagement so far, how it's worked for you guys, how you even came to know us and who we are and what we do. So when you first, I guess, were thinking about going out to market for a consultancy or an agency or whatever, what was some of the criteria you were looking for in someone you might want to engage with across some of the digital transformation work you had going on?
Yeah, sure. Our need was to started with the e-commerce space, and we knew we had to, if we were going to be a serious player in the e-commerce space, we had to reimagine the way we were attacking it. That meant trying to access expertise that we didn't necessarily have sitting around the board table. Our external director, who has been more active in the space before, did a bit of research through a few contacts of his, and that ultimately led us down the path of finding your business, Jason, and ultimately to engaging you. What we were looking for is someone that could hold our hand through the process of evaluating the e-commerce platforms that were available out there, and more specifically understanding our unique needs that we have in furnishings, because we touch on a number of different industries, from very simple inventory-based transactional stuff to more complex product or purchase orders, almost manufacturing products as well. And yeah, so that engagement led us down your path, and what we were soon to realize with your help that there was a whole lot of other questions we need to be asking at the same time, and that's really been instrumental in us forming a bit of a roadmap of the decisions we've got to make to do this properly and to do it right.
You're not alone. In fact, probably the vast majority of clients that perhaps hire me for e-commerce consultancy, we dig deep in the commerce stack, full stop, and all the underpinnings of e-commerce itself. There's a lot to it. There's usually ERP involved. There's usually CRM involved, usually some form of order and warehouse management involved. There's a lot of pieces to this to get. And so I think you've hit the nail on the head that oftentimes what starts out as maybe a pure e-commerce project, or what we think is going to be a pure e-commerce project, we take a much more holistic approach to things, and we need to look at kind of the people, the process, the tech, the data. We need to look at it all quite holistically to make sure that whatever we architect together jointly is actually going to meet all of the business needs across all of the different functions of the business, as opposed to just the pure e-com function.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And what started off, as I say, in e-commerce, and then through discussions identified we need to look at our whole business stack, as you say. When we initially had that realization, it was more about it's a necessary evil that we've got to revisit before we can get into the fun stuff, which was the e-commerce. But through the process that you took us through, we actually started to see the massive positive impact getting our full business stack would have on our bricks and mortar business, which is still the lion's share of what we do. And then with the added benefit, then we could roll into e-commerce in a far stronger position. So it's been a very enlightening process, which is great.
Fantastic. And what vertical do you guys play in?
We are in the interior design space, or retail interior design is probably the easiest way to understand it. So we have our biggest category is obviously furniture, and that ranges from product that we import and sell in that imported form through to custom-made furniture that we make here in New Zealand to match a specific customer need. We do mattresses and bases, so very, very mature market where we play against a lot of big multinationals. We also do curtains and blinds and floor covering, which is a very bespoke offering. And then we have simple categories like bed linen, which is far more high volume, smaller sale value. Yeah, so we've got a whole lot of everything going on under one roof, all tied together with some amazing interior design.
Awesome. And you guys have a reasonably complex business model in the sense that you're full omni-channel. You've got your online store. You've also got retail chain. You do a bit of B2B. You also do some B2C. You also do, as you say, you do some manufacturing with some of your window coverings, and then you also do some of the floor stuff. So you've got multiple facets to the business that really we've talked through in terms of when we look at this digital transformation program. There's lots of puzzle pieces that we have to take into account to make sure we're servicing all of those different kinds of clients in the channels that they want to be serviced through.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's always been the challenge for us, is there are a lot of moving parts. Each of those categories that I mentioned has a huge range of suppliers. And those suppliers range enormously in their technical development. We have to interact with some very small, very manual systems. We have to interact with some very large and more complex systems. And that's always been a frustration with having so much diversity in what we have to pull off every day.
It has been amazing working with you guys so far. It's been a true pleasure. It's been fun. It's been challenging. It's been engaging. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm really looking forward as we continue to roll out this digital transformation program over the 18, 24, 36 months. I'm looking forward to seeing the fruits of our labor come to fruition.
Likewise, Jason. No, we've thoroughly enjoyed working with you. We were talking about it at last board meeting and the advice and expertise, but just having someone drive a timeline has been we've come a lot further than we would have if we'd been driving it ourselves. I've thoroughly enjoyed the relationship.